Hello, everyone. I know that the chat is just ending, and the Tech Dad Paul just announced the winner of the Droid Turbo, which is a Shendrix 80. Congratulations to all of you. I wanted to make sure that you knew that we're starting this recap right at the end of the chat, and we're going to give you some great takeaways, the key highlights of what we wanted to share with you during the chat. Just before, I want to thank our sponsor, Verizon, for making this recap possible. And I also want to thank my guest, Chris Fleury, coming to us right from Southern California. How are you, Chris?
Great, Monica. Thanks for having me. Long time no see. It's always good to be with you.
Yeah, I realize I always get to see you right at right around CES time. So I always get a chance to see you in January. This is just a tiny bit earlier, right?
Yep, perfect. I guess we'll miss that together this year, but there's always next year.
There's always next year. Hard to believe to say next year, and next year is actually in just a couple of weeks. So,
Yeah.
do you stay around for the holidays, or?
Yeah, this year we're staying home. We're doing a lot of the usual family stuff. It's kind of an uneventful Christmas for us, and as uneventful as Christmas can be, but it's always pretty eventful with all that. I'm married into a very, very big extended family, and so there's always yeah, and so it's always exciting. It's very ethnic and very interesting, to say the least. So we'll see what surprises are coming this year.
That sounds fabulous. That sounds fabulous. I know that everyone's joining us now from the chat. Welcome, everyone. We are going to be talking about great tips on how you can still buy some tech gifts for those of us celebrating Christmas next week, but also I know there's still some Hanukkah days left for some gifts as well. So it doesn't matter what time of year, really. Tech gifts are in fashion all the time. Did you buy some tech gifts this year, Chris?
Absolutely. I don't know if I can be too public about those because they might be watching, some of those people, but I think there's a pretty good selection this year to choose. And I've just found a few in the last few days that I'd never even heard of or seen before. And
so
I'm looking forward to those. But some of, go ahead.
What were you saying? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, I was going to say that when you think of tech, oftentimes, we used to think of, big ticket items, right? Laptops and TVs and computers. But what are some of the sort of smaller, fun tech gifts that people can choose now that may be under your tree?
Yeah, I'll tell you a few of the ones that I think are awesome. And you mentioned Verizon, the sponsor. A couple of them I saw in the Verizon store the other day. There's the by Parrot, they make that big drone thing, but they also have a couple smaller items that are really worth looking at. One's called the Jumping Sumo, and the other's the Rolling Spider. If I was a kid, well, forget if I was a kid, I would love one of those this year myself. But another small one too, something I use every single day, is a Motorola Roadster Bluetooth speaker for the car. If you don't have a car that has built-in Bluetooth, that thing is awesome. And
actually, what a great idea.
Yeah. I mean, I've given so many of those away this year for birthdays and for other things, and every single person just loves. That's like my favorite gift to give because everybody loves it.
That's so true. Motorola Roadster. I know you put it in the visor, right?
Yep.
Connects to your phone.
Yep. Just works out of the box. The battery lasts like 2-3 weeks. You can't go wrong with that thing.
Yeah, that's actually a great gift idea. I also love the fact that, it used to be, this was actually in evidence at the latest opening of the Verizon Destination Store, both in Houston and in Chicago. The original one is up and running now for a year in Minneapolis at the Mall of America. But in the stores, you now walk in and you see so much color. It's so fun, right? The speakers come in different colors, the headsets, the activity trackers. There's so many different options for cases and everything. It's just so fun. It used to be gray or black were our choices for technology. Did you find any such fun kind of fashion type products out? Can we find those under your tree?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you can't, Bluetooth speakers, you just can't seem to ever have enough.
Yeah,
I mean, and they seem to somehow get adopted by other family members and stuff
yeah.
over time. So those, I've got a few of those from turquoise to red to, I usually I'm pretty boring. I'm just pretty much black on most of my technology. Although I will say one of my favorite things this year is this thing's bright orange, but it's a Lenovo Yoga Pro 3 laptop. But that's the one color in my stable of technology right now. Most of it's pretty black, except for what I'm giving away.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that your laptop is orange. So,
Yeah.
for someone who claims to have everything black, that's
Exactly.
that's
It's
a
hard to
pretty
go
cool.
incognito with that thing.
I know which one you mean, actually. It's a really cool shade. It's not like
Yeah.
what people would think orange necessarily, right? It's this
Yep.
beautiful kind of burnt orange color. It's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
And
you're
for
right.
you,
There's so much color, so much choice this year. Um, a couple of the other things for me this year that it's different is this is the first year I've really been using tap to pay a lot on my phone. And so it just popped in my mind. That's one of the things that I think is different about my shopping this year than any time. Even though I've had NFC for probably 3 years on my phone and had the capability to do that, I think it's really with soft card and with some of the newer services, it's really gotten easy to do. And there's
yeah,
a ton of deals that come along with it. So
yeah.
I'm just looking, I open that app and look for deals, and that's where I go get lunch half the time, is where I find that, $2 off, $5 off, and
That's good.
works great.
It's very good. Now, one of the things that Verizon does that I love is every month there's an accessory of the month. And so you can, in fact, I think one of the drones is the accessory of the month this month. And so what happens is you actually can get it a lot cheaper during that time.
Yep.
And so that's always a good way to see how you can save on some of these great gifts. I actually do love the fact that speakers are very portable. I have this. This is the latest Sony Bluetooth speaker, and in some cases, I do have some black stuff, but for the most part, most of my tech, if it can be this
Yeah.
color, I'm happy. It can be the color of my sweater, even better. And that actually has to do with the fact that you can find it, right? If it's lost, you can always track it down.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, today we're going to give away this Droid Turbo. It's an amazing device. It actually is an iconic smartphone made by Motorola, and it comes in red or black. But most importantly, I think, Chris, you have one. It charges in 15 minutes. So if your phone, which actually charges, lasts 48 hours, and you need to charge it quickly at 100%, it takes just 15 minutes plugged in. And it has a 21 megapixel camera. So this will be an incredibly wonderful gift for yourself if you win it, or for someone that you love or you think needs a new smartphone. How do you like yours, Chris?
Uh, it is by far, without a doubt. If you win that thing, don't give it away. It is the best phone out there. I absolutely love it. I've had a million phones. I mean, A, it charges fast, but B, that doesn't even matter as much because the I cannot wear the thing out in a day, and I'm a very heavy phone user. And you mentioned the camera. One of the issues with some of the phones in the past is not the greatest cameras. This one's a true top tier camera that competes with the best of all the smartphones that I've ever used. So
The
the thing,
camera's been great. Yep.
yeah,
If you guys want to see some of the pictures of the Droid, there's a hashtag Droid holidays that we've been posting pictures on, or Instagram. You can also follow Droid by Motorola, and they're posting all these great pictures that are taken with this phone, just in case you want to compare. Because nowadays, right, we pick our tech based on the camera. It's a huge determining factor, right?
oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, for my wife, it's the only factor that matters on her phone. Really, honestly, it's the
Well,
camera is the
the
thing.
checklist is it has to be on Verizon so that you know you're going to be able to connect anywhere, and it has to be a fun color, and it has to have a great camera.
There you go.
All of those things. I was just showing it. It comes in this beautiful red. So
Mhm.
great choice. And so really, as far as our tips for you all to shop for technology at this time, make sure you pop in if you happen to be fortunate enough to live in Chicago. Stop by over in the Magnificent Mile, right across from the John Hancock building, is the new Verizon Destination Store. And that's a wonderful place. I know we just broadcast from there a couple of weeks ago. But otherwise, pop into the stores, go and touch it and feel it and get a feeling for it. And if you're buying for someone else, and if you're buying for someone who is relatively tech shy, make sure you encourage them to take advantage of the free workshops that are offered. Verizon offers free workshops. Even if you're not a Verizon customer, you can attend some of these workshops and just get a good feeling for how to make the most of your smartphone or tablet. Those two seem to be the most important things that we need to learn to use. I know that if I look at my smartphone, I probably use about 40% of the capabilities that the device is capable of. So make it a goal this year for you to learn more about your devices and hopefully pop in, do some of these workshops. I know the Apple stores provide some great workshops. The Microsoft stores have workshops, and Verizon has workshops. All of these are free. All you have to do is sign up. And really what happens is then you learn how to use the features that are important to your lifestyle. Have you discovered any fun things on the Droid, Chris, that you think have made a big difference to how you live?
Well, one of the newest, they just had an update to the operating system on the Droid Turbo just literally a few days ago, and they introduced a new. This is Verizon only, but it's a new HD audio and video add-on to the phone. So you can, with one click, convert to video calling with any other Verizon customer, and you get better audio quality. I've been playing with that. The Verizon Messages app has really come a long way. I hadn't looked at it for a while, and I looked at it again recently, and it's really kind of matured and gotten very fun. And then the other thing is all the voice-activated features of this phone, which is available in some other Android phones, but I use that constantly. So there's a lot of stuff that I've kind of picked up in the last few months.
Yeah, and I happen to be spending a little bit of time thinking about seniors and technology for our seniors. As you know, many of us are not fortunate enough to live near family like you, Chris. So we tend to, use and rely on our devices to connect with them when they're far away via Skype or other method. And so I want to make sure that our seniors, our grandparents, have good technology that it's easy for them to use. And I find, touch screen makes it easy. And again, what you just mentioned, which is voice commands, Google Now, or things like Siri. I particularly like Google Now because I find it very responsive. It understands all of my mumble jumbo when I'm when I'm running around, which Siri never did. I used to have to repeat it about 4 times to see if she would catch on to my funny accent, I guess. But those technologies are great for seniors, right? Touch screen, voice activation, things that just make it natural for them to connect. So think about that if you're buying for them, and ways to bring them closer, particularly during the holidays when you can just use technology to connect with them. Finally, I'm supposed to ask you, Chris, what would you like as a gift for yourself, technology-wise?
Oh,
Or you
uh,
think it's already under the tree?
yeah, I'll tell you what probably one of my big things is. I was talking about the Bluetooth speakers lately, and I have a bunch of the little ones, but one of the things I'm dying for this year, and I keep looking for a real deal, is one of the bigger Bluetooth speakers that actually fills the room when we've got a bunch of people and there's a lot of background noise, and I can get the volume where I want it to be. That's probably top of my list right now. Outside of that, I'm pretty blessed with the technology that I've already gotten this year, and I'm in good shape. But
Good.
that's where
Yeah,
I'm
well,
at.
that's very modest of you. My list is a mile long. I've even thought of ways in which I could really use a GoPro,
Oh, yeah.
even though I'm not a skier. Although I think that if I had a GoPro and I went skiing, it would make for a viral video. I'm pretty sure of it.
I want to see that this winter.
It'll be a lot of tumbling, that's for sure. So yeah, we're going to announce the winner of the Droid Turbo. But before we do that, I wanted to let you know about a very important fun update to Verizon Messages. Some of you may use the messaging service on your smartphones, but if you're in Verizon, it's really a good idea to download and use the free Verizon Messages app. Partially because it goes across your platforms, so if you're on different platforms, your laptop, your tablet, and your smartphone are on different devices, you can actually get your texts in all of them if you use Verizon Messages. So it's a really convenient way to stay connected. Say you're on a plane and you get a text, it'll come through on the Wi-Fi in your computer or in your tablet. So try to get Verizon Messages, and the new update on that allows you to send Starbucks gift cards around. So we're going to roll a video, and when we come back, we're going to announce the winner of the Droid Turbo of today's recap. Great. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. I want to make sure that I remind all of you that all of us that are connected with Verizon Wireless would like to wish you all a wonderful holiday next week. Make sure that you enjoy the company of your family and your loved ones more than the gifts, although I'm sure the gifts will be a lot of fun as well. And we're going to give this Droid Turbo, congratulations to the winner, is Brooke 1 Boyd. Congratulations. We're going to be shipping this right out to you first thing on Monday morning. And I want to thank everyone again for joining us this year. We're going to be back next Friday. We're going to be talking about what our favorite moments of 2014 were. And if you recall, last year we had a couple of famous people join us for that event. So all of you are famous in my book. We're going to be enjoying Friday chat together. If you're taking a break from work, then join us. Same time, same place. And I want to thank Chris for joining us. Have a wonderful Christmas, Chris.
Thanks, Monica. You too. I really appreciate the opportunity, and it's always great to see you.
Great. And wonderful shirt that you're wearing there with Solar City. Not too white at all. It's wonderful. Thank you to Marty and Misty, and we'll talk to all of you soon. Thank you, Jean, and thank you to Tech Dad. And good wishes to Robin's World for a speedy recovery. Thank you, Lynn and Joyce, and all of you guys for joining us today. Thanks again.